Hello ladies and gents, Romie Reviews here. Please like, comment, subscribe. This is my review for It's Here, It's Here. And the very end, middle/end, is when we get the whoa moments. This is Married to Medicine, Season 6. This is part 1 of the 3-part reunion. Technically episode 16. How this whole thing starts off is we have Andy introduce the ladies, and I'm not a nitpicker with the looks. It definitely wasn't coordinated this year. It was I'm gonna wear this, I'm gonna wear that, I'm just gonna do me, I'm gonna do me, and we're just all gonna show up and figure this thing out. That's exactly what it looked like, so that's all I have to report on that. Except for Andy did make a little sly comment about, hey, Toya. No, not Toya. It was in relation to Toya, but it was actually to Dr. Simone. Andy said Dr. Simone is wearing Toya's hair. Why would you say that? Anyway, we start with something light. Dr. Heavenly, of course, has talked so much about her and her husband and their relationship. And he asked her, well, if you have a hall pass, who? And Dr. Heavenly, her whole thing is that she does not want to disrespect her marriage, and we respect that. But hey, this is just a general question. Come on, give us something. So she says Barack, which I feel like she kind of said before. So I'm not surprised that that was the go-to for her. But we go from that, and now I'm not talking about every little thing. Now we're focusing on Dr. Simone and her relationship. And we see that Dr. Simone, she talks about how she's thankful that what they did on last year's reunion in New York. Because she said she knows a lot of people don't realize how bad it was, what was going on. But that saved her marriage. Her talking with the ladies, and at that time, it saved the marriage. It opened the door for them to actually communicate. And so then that's when the therapy happened. So then Andy asked, hey, what about Tammy? Because remember, Tammy was the big dun. And that's when we find out that Tammy, she hasn't talked to Tammy in a while. Tammy, of course, is no longer in the picture. That's one of the reasons why the relationship was able to move forward. And of course, Dr. Simone just felt like, okay, she is, her relationship was taken over by another woman. And how can she just stand by and let that happen? That doesn't make sense. And she's not going to put up with it. So we said, fine. So now we'll go on to Contessa. Like I said, I want this to be concise. When we're talking about Contessa, she talks about how things are, so her father, he does have cancer. He's going to go and start chemo in 2 weeks. And she's happy that he's willing to take that step. And of course, she's going to be there to support him. She's in a good space with her father. I'm happy for her with that. Dr. Heavenly, because remember, she made a comment about Contessa's girls and how, why would you go through all of that and not, up the size of the girls? Dr. Contessa, the girls are settled, and Dr. Heavenly says, oh, you did get a bigger size. She said, no, I didn't, but things are right. But we go from that to, this was random. This was random, but it's not. Andy started it off. Andy said, well, we need to talk about how you coming back into the group. And she was like, and that's the problem right there. I didn't come back into the group. I was out for 3 weeks because of medical leave, if that's what you want to call it, if that's what you want to reference. And it was Simone. When Simone said, oh, welcome back to the group. And Simone and Toya both like, that's not a big deal. Those were just words. I'm thinking, everyone is on a different page. When everyone is on a different page, you can't possibly see and fully understand the intent behind someone's words. Do I think that Dr. Simone was being malicious when she said that? No. Do I think that it's Dr. Simone, and she had, it was kind of like a, hey, welcome back. You've been gone for a minute now, haven't you? I do think it was a little bit of that, and that's the only thing I don't like. How she's trying to downplay it, like, oh no, it wasn't. It was, because in the next breaths, you said something that confirmed how we all felt when you said that. Like I said, I don't think it was malicious, but I do think that she felt a certain way. And so that's what starts the argument, because Contessa just feels like, Dr. Simone, you turned it into something bigger than what it was, and then you went to 20 to 10. Because they did ask, because Andy asked Jackie, and Jackie even said that she did feel that way. No, I'm sorry. Feel is different than thought. She thought that. And she went and did what you're supposed to do when you're grown. She went out to Contessa, asked her, hey, are you not around the other ladies because you have an issue with these people, or just have an issue with anyone? Is that why you're taking so long to come back? And she said no. And I do believe her. Do I think that she was happy to be away from drama? Yes. Do I think that she was hiding? No, because I don't think that that's her character. So that's one thing I will give Contessa. That's one thing, because we're going to get into some other stuff. And then it really went left between the ladies, because you have Toya and Dr. Simone on one side. You have Dr. Contessa on the other side. And it's a tug of war. It's a tug of war of words and emotions and emotes. They're emoting. Look, here's the real issue. We get into the fact that it was weird. I don't know why she said this. Dr. Simone said that she doesn't even drink, because it came up, well, is Dr. Simone's extraness due to her drinking? And Dr. Simone says she doesn't even drink around the ladies. Now, when I tell you the looks on everyone's face when she said that, you had Dr. Jackie looking like, Dr. Heavenly looking like, Claude looking like, Mariah thinking, no, I can't back you up on that, girl. And then we see all the tapes of her talking about rum punch here, tequila here. In one sense, she's talking about how she likes to have a nice buzz. On another stance, she's saying she's just letting her hair down and being loose with the ladies. But being loose with someone isn't yelling and screaming at them and having them in a mental chokehold like you do. That is not what loose is. Words mean things. As Crystal says from the read. Words mean things. And what you're saying is contradicts the point that you're trying to make. And that's what Dr. Contessa was saying. But I then had to go and say, hold up. Dr. Contessa, you have this, what you do is you let your mind, you let something, you process it and you let it fester. And then it eventually comes out, whether it's from that person or someone else. The problem is by the time you process it and you want to talk about it, if you're going to even talk about it at all, no one cares. They moved on. Now it feels like, oh, you're just trying to cause drama. No, it's the thing that was an issue was still an issue. And this is something I didn't get over. Because there's other things where she feels like, oh, we don't need to talk about it because it's something small. I don't care. My problem is when you're friends with someone, and this is the thing. If you're friends with someone and there's an issue on either side, it's an issue. That's the truth. Whether it's really an issue for you is different than if it's an issue at all. Man, I'm giving this stuff away for free. because YouTube, I mean, my views aren't paying enough for all this. But so that's the problem there. But I do agree. I do see the points on both sides. I'm not saying I agree. I see points from both sides, but I also see contradictions on both sides. So now we'll move on. Now we get into something light. We talk about the kids. And Dr. Heavenly talks about she has a 17-year-old son that he's there in the house, but you don't see him because the cameras do a great job of hiding him. He does not want to be on camera. He's not about that life. He wants to have a normal teenage life. And we definitely can respect that. And then we have Simone, Dr. Simone with her children, and how she says she more so relates to her younger son because her younger son, Michael, he doesn't have a filter like Heavenly. He says whatever he wants. He's da-da-da. His heart's on his sleeve. Her son, Miles, is more so like her father. And we talked about Dr. Contessa, how she just jumped into going and making sure her daughter wasn't choking anymore. And we know that's what she does. She was a part of the armed forces and she's a doctor. She's a G. Like, her resume makes her a G. Her interactions on the show is what kind of stifles her general image. Now, speaking of that, Dr. Simone saying that Dr. Contessa, people say you're boring. That's true. People do say that. But you're still on the show. Clearly, she brings enough to be kept on the show because you know they will replace someone with the quickness on these shows. And then we get another light break where now we're just talking about Dr. Contessa when she was going through her surgery and the post-op stuff where she didn't take the painkillers because obviously she saw her father get addicted, and so she just took it very sparingly but thugged it out. And we see Dr. Heavenly talking to Wanda Braxton, and I didn't even think of this. Andy said, "Now let's clear this up. Do you bring up, y'all talking about sexual situations when she's in the chair? Because isn't there some HIPAA laws with the patients?" I'll bring that up. She brings that up. Yeah, thank you for having me cover that up. I mean, clear that up. I said what I said. Anyway, we talk about Dr. Heavenly discussing that she goes to therapy and how it's very and viewers appreciate that she's doing that on this platform. And then we go to Quad and talk to Quad about, hey, you were married to a therapist or a psychiatrist? And Quad said, yeah, she also had the couples therapy and she still feels like that stuff's important. Period. Mental health is very important. Ooh. Now we get to Heavenly. Now we're getting back into the fray. Her spiritual journey was something great, something to behold of. Beautiful, beautiful gowns. And I do like that they kind of bring up again, okay, it makes sense why Heavenly is the way she is because her interactions with people are very different. Heavenly talks about how she knows one day she has to talk to her sister, but it's not going to be today, tomorrow, the next day after that. She understands, she loves her mom, she appreciates her mom, but she also knows that her mom maybe didn't teach her the emotional side of life and how to deal with that. And they talk about, the plight of black women where you're already black, so you have to be better just to be good, and they're women, so there's the misogyny and that goes with that. And so it's just, you have these strong women who they're taught that no matter what, you have to be strong. Everything else is secondary. And I said, yes, we're talking facts here. But when we're talking about the mess, we involve Mariah. And apparently Heavenly was upset because on the blog, Mariah's sister insinuated that Heavenly's husband was trying to hook up with Miss Lucy. And that's when Heavenly said, look, if David's trying to leave for Miss Lucy, then she might as well just give up right now. Might as well just give up right now. And that's where we get to the whole thing of Mariah being a liar. And that's how we get to this. Now, Heavenly really tried. She really tried to pull one over us, but it's not going to work. Heavenly tried to say, oh, well, you know, she understands what she said about, she said, well, I said the yo mama thing in jest. And so I guess she doesn't understand my vernacular and the way how I form words sometimes, and she sees it differently. But I feel like that was light in comparison to when she went and talked about the Damon. I'm thinking, what? What we're not gonna do is pretend like you saying your mama is nothing compared to Mariah saying your husband. Come on now. So then Heavenly said, where's the receipts? You keep talking about you have receipts. I'm thinking, we're not doing all of that. You keep talking about you have receipts. I think that Mariah's over it. I think she doesn't care anymore. And because she doesn't care anymore, it's like we see that Aiden has the receipts. He has the documents. He has the paperwork. And Mariah doesn't want to use it because I really think she meant it when she said she was going to leave Damon alone. Now, Heavenly is irking her so much that her spirit is vexed. And I see that she's on the cusp of just laying loose. But then that's when things take a turn, because now we have Quad jumping in. And this was the craziest thing to me. Quad jumped in because Heavenly said that Mariah is a liar, and Quad agreed. So that's when Quad comes in and says, hey, you went and said on the blog that she slept with Mariah's sister's husband. And Mariah and so then Mariah originally was like, what are you talking about? I didn't bring that up. Now here's the thing. Mariah didn't bring it up, and it seems like she probably wouldn't have brought it up on the show. Andy was concerned because he said, this is a reunion. This is about stuff that happened on the show. Why are you bringing in something that Mariah didn't even bring onto the show on set and speak it? And that's when Quad said, because I want this stuff to be done. I don't want this to be a plot line in season 7, since I guess I'm signing on for season 7. I don't want that. So instead, I want this to be addressed right now. And I said, oh, okay, well, I have time. Let's go. And it was weird. Originally, Mariah was just like, look, a blog. Why would the blog go? And I didn't sponsor the blog, because Quads kept saying, you sponsored the blog. You were the one that wanted to go and put this out there to go and besmirch my name. You are a liar, Mariah. You are a deceiver. And I'm thinking, oh, are we doing this? Yeah, we're doing this. So that's when Quad said, first off, you are lying. Secondly, yes, there's two. Secondly, it didn't happen. Third, that's why you're trifling. Mariah then said, well, you know what? Even though I didn't pay the blog, it's true. It's true. And I know it's true. She said, Andy, it's true because I came to her house, as in her sister's house. The husband was there, and Quad was wearing the husband's t-shirt. And so that's when Quad said, you're a liar, you're delusional, and you're a cokehead. I said, whoa! She said, you a bleeping liar and a cokehead. And that's when Mariah said, I've never done a drug alcohol. I've done alcohol, drink alcohol, but I've never done a drug. I don't smoke hookah. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't play those games. Don't you dare lie to me. And everyone's just looking like, oh Lord, did the reunion just jump ship like this? What is going on? The messiness of it all. The fact that all of that happened because Quad wanted to go and just clear the air now on reunion. That was smart. Do it when there's a lot of optics and eyes. That was smart. That was a smart move. Why is Aiden upset? I don't know. But that was part 1. Please like, comment, subscribe. Parts 2 and 3, we'll see what it gives.
Remember to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe and come back.